Within Module 12, we will explore the peripheral nervous system. So the human nervous system has two anatomical subdivisions, the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Anatomically, we study them separately, but they are seamlessly connected and each division depends on one another. That is, the central nervous system would not function properly without the peripheral nervous system and vice versa. The central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord, while the peripheral nervous system consists of the nerves, the sensoreceptors, and the ganglia. So, a few definitions before we move on. Nerves are defined as bundles of neuron axons that are located within the peripheral nervous system. So it's helpful to think of these as the cables that connect the sensoreceptors and the muscles to the central nervous system. Sensoreceptors are described as specialized structures that detect very specific stimuli. They tend to be closely associated with sensory nerves or sensory neurons. And finally, we see that ganglia are not like bulges that are located within nerves that contain the cell bodies or the somas of neurons. Ganglia can contain the cell bodies of sensory or motor neurons. The somatic division of the nervous system that controls skeletal muscles does not have ganglia, and so for that reason the motor ganglia are also called the autonomic ganglia, because they specifically have control over involuntary muscles like cardiac muscle and smooth muscle. So let's think about nerves for a minute. We see that there are multiple paired nerves that emerge from both the brain and the spinal cord. The term paired implies that a particular nerve has a right and a left branch that serve the right and left sides of the body respectively. The brain has 12 pairs of nerves that are called the cranial nerves, while the spinal cord has 31 pairs of spinal nerves. So even more complex is the fact that the spinal nerves form very convoluted bundles that branch and merge repeatedly. We call these bundles the spinal nerve plexuses.